For most of history, building wealth meant owning valuable assets: land, gold, businesses, stocks. Wealth was measured by what people owned. But today, another kind of asset is becoming increasingly valuable: the platform that manages those assets. Around the world, millions of investors no longer visit physical offices to monitor their portfolios. They open an app, review performance, allocate capital, track returns, and manage their financial future through software. The assets may still exist in the real world, but the experience of managing wealth has become almost entirely digital. And wherever an industry becomes digital, new business opportunities begin to emerge. Over the past decade, managing wealth has become less about location and more about accessibility. Investors expect to monitor portfolios from anywhere, receive real-time performance updates, diversify across multiple asset classes, and execute financial decisions without waiting for office hours. This change isn't simply about convenience. It fundamentally changes how financial businesses operate. When wealth management becomes digital, every interaction, from onboarding and verification to reporting and portfolio monitoring, can be integrated into one continuous customer experience. That's why digital wealth platforms have become an increasingly important layer of the modern financial ecosystem. Traditional financial firms often built value through personal relationships and local offices. Digital wealth platforms expand that model by creating infrastructure that can serve many users simultaneously. Instead of relying solely on one-on-one interactions, the platform becomes the central environment where investors monitor assets, review performance, manage accounts, and interact with financial services. Revenue may come from subscriptions, management fees, premium services, transaction fees, or specialized investment products. The technology supports the experience, but the business is built on long-term trust and consistent value. What appears to users as a simple investment dashboard is supported by an extensive digital infrastructure operating behind the scenes. Identity verification helps establish trust. Secure databases organize investor records. Reporting systems provide transparency. Payment gateways move funds. Administrative tools coordinate operations. Notifications keep users informed. Security layers protect sensitive information. None of these systems are usually the reason customers join a platform, yet they are essential to maintaining reliability as the business grows. This is the architecture that transforms an idea into a scalable financial service. Now, let's move from concepts to implementation. Today's case study is Vicer Asset, available on Envato Market. Rather than treating it as the destination, we'll use it as an architectural reference. It illustrates how many of the foundational components found in modern wealth platforms can be assembled into a cohesive system. By studying examples like this, entrepreneurs can better understand how digital financial businesses are structured before deciding how to differentiate and expand them for their own markets. Now, let's examine this platform through the lens of business architecture rather than software features. At first glance, it appears to be an investment management application, but underneath the interface is something much more significant. It is an operational framework designed to organize the relationships between investors, administrators, financial transactions, reporting, and long-term portfolio management. Every dashboard, every workflow, and every administrative function exists for one reason: to reduce operational complexity while creating a consistent experience for every participant inside the system. That is the true role of digital infrastructure, not replacing expertise, but allowing expertise to scale. One of the biggest misconceptions about digital businesses is that software creates value on its own. In reality, software is simply the operating system of the business. The real value comes from the financial services, customer relationships, operational efficiency, and trust that the platform enables. Without those elements, even the most sophisticated application becomes little more than a collection of screens. Successful platforms understand that technology is only valuable when it supports a sustainable business model. Every entrepreneur must decide where innovation creates the greatest return. Is it worth spending months rebuilding authentication systems, portfolio dashboards, payment processing, user management, reporting, and administrative controls? Or is it more valuable to focus on branding, customer trust, investment strategy, regulatory compliance, and the unique services that customers actually remember? Starting with an existing technical foundation doesn't eliminate creativity. It redirects creativity towards the parts of the business that create long-term competitive advantage. It's important to remember that today's case study represents only one point within a much larger wealth tech ecosystem. Across the market, you'll discover platforms built for asset management, investment portfolios, crowdfunding, private wealth services, digital advisory businesses, and many other financial models. The lesson isn't about choosing one product over another. It's about recognizing that every successful platform is built upon recurring architectural patterns. Once you learn to identify those patterns, you stop evaluating software by features alone. You begin evaluating it by how effectively it supports the business you want to build. Every financial platform ultimately competes on one principle: trust. Investors don't simply place capital into dashboards or applications. They place confidence in systems that promise security, transparency, and consistency over time. That's why the strongest wealth platforms are designed around much more than technology. They combine operational discipline, reliable processes, clear reporting, and user experience into a system people are willing to return to again and again. In the digital economy, trust isn't just a brand value. It's an operational capability that must be engineered into every layer of the platform. If you're thinking about entering digital finance, don't begin by asking which software to buy. Begin by asking what problem you're solving, who you're serving, and why customers should trust your platform. Once those questions are answered, technology becomes an enabler instead of the strategy itself. Every successful financial business follows the same sequence: understand the market, design the business model, build the operating system, then improve it continuously as customers and markets evolve. Software can accelerate that journey, but clear strategic thinking determines where it leads. If today's episode sparked new ideas, you'll find the link to today's case study in the description below. Explore the live demo, study how the platform is organized, and compare it with other wealth management solutions available on Envato Market. Don't look for a perfect product. Look for recurring architectural patterns, identify the capabilities your business actually needs, and determine which foundation aligns with your long-term vision. The better you understand the architecture behind successful platforms, the better prepared you'll be to design one that creates lasting value. Behind every successful financial institution lies an invisible architecture that most people never see. Markets evolve, technologies change, customer expectations continue to rise, but the organizations that endure are the ones that design systems capable of adapting to all three. That's what this series is really about. Not software, not trends, but the architectures that quietly shape modern business and create long-term economic value. If you enjoyed today's episode, subscribe and join us as we continue decoding the systems behind tomorrow's opportunities. Until next time, keep learning, keep building, and remember, wealth is not built by working harder, it's engineered through systems.